Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. This is your host Nava. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button before we get started, and let's jump right on into this video. So, I don't know how many of y'all are on Reddit. If any of y'all are on Reddit, y'all are very, very familiar with some of the posts on there. Specifically, we're talking about the regretful opening up your marriage posts. It's always a lot of men. You're going to find a lot of men on Reddit speaking about why they opened up their marriage or wanted to open up their marriage and why they regret it. And I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I'm loving reading these posts. I'm loving hearing these stories. Ladies, if your husband wants to open up your marriage, open it up. I personally feel I don't feel like you should go out and find another man, but open it up and start making your plan to leave. That's what I think you should do. Just say okay. And I don't think you should go and just be all hopping on things all willy-nilly. But I think you should open it up, and I think you should start making plans to leave at that moment. Get your tears out, get your crying out, and start making your plan. That's what I think y'all should do. Anyway, we're going to get into some of these stories of these men opening up their marriage and regretting it. And the wives are like, nope, there's no going back. So I personally believe that most men, 9 out of 10 men, don't want to get married anyway, because most men want to have sex with multiple women from the time they hit puberty until the time they die. So even if they get married, they're not going to just want you. They're going to want to have sex with other women in the world. And as women, you want to have sex with other men too. You're more likely to control yourself and to not do it. That's one thing that they don't understand, is that we both have urges and we see other people as attractive. But as a woman, you can control yourself a little bit better. Well, a lot better. But most women are not just about to go just hop on every man that they see. But most men will do that. And these men who are opening up their marriages, they are finding out. They're effing around and finding out that your wife is only undesirable to you. Your wife only gained all this weight because she didn't have time for herself. She was taking care of the kids. She was working 10 hours a day. She had stuff to do at home. She was helping with homework. She was in school. Your wife had so much to do, so she just didn't have time to take care of herself. She forgot about herself and she sacrificed herself for you and your family. And now you want to go find somebody else. And I don't think women getting fat is like the only reason men go out and look for other women. They, like I just said, most men are going to want other women. I don't care if they're married. They tell you that they love you. They would never cheat. They're going to want other women, and most of them are going to cheat. So let's get into these videos, and I'll be back with my commentary after this.
Husband asked wife for an open marriage, and the wife started enjoying it too much, and the husband lives to regret it.
Y'all have to listen to this story. About a year ago, my husband told me that he wasn't attracted to me anymore. I kind of understood that because since our second child was born, he hasn't done it with me. He said he loved me more than anything in the world and that the rest of the relationship was perfect. He just needed to get it on with someone else or else he would go crazy. That's when he brought up the option of having an open marriage. I was taken aback. So I started to ask him the definition of what this open marriage meant. We discussed it over a few weeks, and I started to feel deprived, and the idea started to grow on me. I said yes, and we both agreed to create a set of rules to follow. Our rules were that we would never bring anyone into our home, and we would always use protection, and my husband requested that he know who the other person or persons were. He was meeting new women within a week. He told me everything and even showed me pictures. I gave in to his desire for an open marriage, but deep down, I really only wanted to be with him. Why should I continue to allow myself to get hurt when he doesn't value who I truly am? Should I be honest with him? Here's where it gets real sticky. Early in the marriage, I didn't feel physically attracted to my husband and wanted to be with other people. I didn't share this with him. Instead, I went out, had a one-night stand, and I thought that was it. I never saw him again. But my husband and our child, that's not his. I never told him. Should I tell him the truth? How do I tell him that I don't want to continue having an open marriage because I already know there can be unintended consequences? I told you it was going to get sticky, but hold on. I kept my feelings buried and I ignored them. I started to relax a little more. I started to flirt back with other people. One of my clients from the bank started flirting with me about a month ago. I told him my circumstances and the arrangement I had with my husband. He was a little disappointed at first, but he said eventually he was in. I went home to my husband and let him know about this client and about what was going on and that I had a date that upcoming Friday. My husband got silent. Friday came around and my husband texted me that he was stuck at work and that he was going to go later on to meet a girl. So I had nobody to watch the children. This seemed to continue every single time I had a date. My husband was never always available for me to go out. Last Monday, I had no meetings at work, and after lunch, I decided to go meet the client from the bank. My children were already in daycare, so everything was cool. I went to his place. I thought about my first affair and felt that what I was doing was wrong, but I did it anyway. I received from him the feeling that I was missing from my husband, and it made me feel amazing. When I got home, I told my husband, and he was angry. I didn't tell him beforehand. I broke a rule. He didn't speak to me the rest of the evening. Next thing you know, he woke up. He was kissing on me. He was caressing me in the middle of the night. And then we finally did it. We did it 3 times. This was a first for us in almost 5 years. Ever since then, we've been doing it every single night. He said that now he's attracted to me and that he doesn't want to continue with the open marriage situation. The problem is, I'm now enjoying the open marriage. I like the options. Now the question is, how do I go on from here? Tell me what you think in the comments.
My husband asked to open up our relationship, but he got a rude awakening when I made a social media account. Oh snap, let's get into this confession. I, 38 female, have been married for the last 10 years. My husband came to me about a year and a half ago asking me to open up the marriage. He said, I love you and I think you're a great mother. I think you're a great partner to have inside of my life, but sexually, I'm not truly into it anymore. I was completely stuck, shocked at the situation, and just flabbergasted at it. I wanted to divorce him right then and there, but then he said, our close friends Jason and Amber have an open relationship, and I would love to embark in that. An open relationship? I've always been monogamous. I've always thought that a relationship was between 2 people, love, support, and everything in between. But he wants to open it up. Not wanting to argue anymore, I decided, okay, fine, after about 2 weeks of him pleading. For the first 3 months, I pretty much didn't do anything. I was going through life as normal, but then he did something that made me switch up everything. He had introduced me to one of his partners at a coffee shop when I was just going to pick up something after work. As I saw them, I was like, oh, hey, that is my husband. And then I saw the woman and she was ugly as shit. Like, I could understand him going inside of a relationship and finding something better, but downgrading? Downgrading? That just grossed me out to the core. And I know all women are beautiful, but this one just wasn't it. So what I decided to do was make an Instagram account. I started off by going on long hikes and just doing my knitting on Instagram, but then I decided to step it up a notch. I started to knit myself different outfits that went with my curves and body, and I started to get DM after DM after DM after DM after DM after DM after DM. A lot of these guys didn't get my attention because they were pretty much not people that I want to talk to, but this one Instagram model hit me up asking me if I could make him an outfit and do a shoot with him. I was like, cool, I love knitting, and I've never actually made an outfit for a man before, so let me try it out. When I tell you his body was immaculate, the way that he hit the gym made my husband go straight to shame. I ended up making him an outfit and a joint outfit of which we linked together. It ended up going viral, and he became one of my open relationship partners. My husband was absolutely furious when he saw the pictures on Facebook. All of his friends talking about how hot I look and how good I look inside of my outfits. And then he came to me asking me to close the relationship. I looked at him with a straight face and I said, I'm good. What happened next shocked him to his core because I ended up getting hit up by an agency.
So some of y'all may know who Destiny is. He is a gamer and a streamer, and he also like debates with like manosphere people, and he's also in an open marriage, and I think he's also bisexual. He likes men also. His wife just ran off with one of her partners from their open marriage. So let's get into this, y'all. If y'all don't know who Destiny is, look him up on YouTube, and you can see some of his videos and his debates with some of the red pill men.
The internet's biggest proponents of open relationships, Destiny and Mel, have broken up. Their open marriage, not relationship, marriage, open marriage, has ended after Mel ran off to Sweden with another man. Destiny's wife, Melina, who he's in an open relationship with, reportedly ran off with a man in Sweden. This is Destiny. He's a huge streamer. He's been huge on the internet for over a decade. And this is Melina, his wife, who he is in an open relationship with. This open relationship was very public, as they've discussed it multiple times on podcasts, including on the Lex Friedman podcast. It was also a big topic back in May when he was on stream with his wife and a YouTuber named Abba, who started to dance with his wife. This clip went viral as Abba right there, who has a big YouTube channel, and that's Mel. They start to salsa dance, and as you can see, Destiny is dead inside. He can't even look. She's laughing, but don't worry, Mel gave him a little hug like this with her claw after the dance. Now, after this happened, they kind of went on a press media tour where they were just like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. We're in an open relationship. We deal with this stuff all the time. Destiny has now let everybody know that over the past 2 months, he has watched Mel essentially become obsessed with the toxic/abusive guy. Destiny told us that he visited them in Sweden, which, I mean, come on, dude, it's your wife. You have to go to Sweden to visit her with another man. He gave Mel an ultimatum to divorce him, and then when she didn't, he threatened to end himself. With that, he decided to end the relationship. The only ones shocked by this are probably Destiny and his ex-wife. Open marriages, I mean, I've never been in a marriage or an open marriage, but I can guarantee you I will never be in one because they just don't work. As simple as that. And I know you can't knock until you try it. Nope, I can. I can. But best of luck to Destiny. I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's worth like tens of millions of dollars. But yeah, best of luck to him in finding his next relationship.
Have a wife at home while he's out here in the streets swinging his thing like a hula hoop. I'm a 25-year-old female and I'm considering divorcing my 26-year-old husband after only 2 weeks. Is this marriage salvageable? My husband and I have been best friends for a long time and I trust him more than anyone, but now feel as if I don't know him at all. Less than a week into our marriage, my husband asked me if we could open the marriage and start hooking up with other people together, suggesting threesomes and swapping with other couples. I've been cheated on in every relationship I've ever been prior to this one and have deep-rooted trust issues that he knows about and has tried to help me through. This question felt extremely sensitive to ask me, considering my past and how soon after us just getting married that he's asking to sleep with other women, because it is really insensitive. This feels like something that you would kind of get straight before you decided to get married. And I mean, you say you've been best friends, you've known each other for a good long while. And also after the concerns that you've had with being cheated on in the past, why is this not something that he would be able to gauge, first of all, having known you as a close friend? Or also, why would it not be something that he would broach before the marriage? Considering this must be something that's been on his mind for a long while for him to only wait 1 week into the marriage before asking you. I mean, when I've seen like accounts of people wanting to open up their marriage, it usually tends to be after a prolonged period, maybe a couple of years, 5 years into the marriage. But 1 week, that means he had this planned all along. I have repeatedly in past relationships been made to feel like I'm not enough, and this has only brought up all of that past trauma again. I really want us to be happy, but I'm struggling to move past this. The whole situation has made me feel deeply insecure, and I can't help but feel like my husband doesn't see me as good enough. He's very reassuring, but I'm not sure how to move past this. He tends to be pretty secretive. I don't have his phone password or anything, and he stays in contact with people he used to sleep with before we got together. That is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't understand why you did not put an end to that as soon as possible. And then we're not talking about one person who might be a best friend, that they may have had a romantic past together, and you can maybe get over potentially them still having a friendship. We're talking about him keeping in contact with multiple women that he's had intimacies with in the past. That's unacceptable. Is this something that bothers you? It's a boundary that you should have drawn before you said I do. Straight up. He hides his phone when scrolling through his pictures to show me something. He just does a lot of things that makes me feel insecure, and I don't feel a husband should do. Is there any way to salvage this marriage? I've talked to him about the things that make me insecure, and he just tells me I shouldn't be and brushes it off. OP, I'm not sure if you want to hear this. I'm not sure if you're ready to hear this, but I have a feeling that your husband's already cheating on you. This is my opinion as someone who doesn't know you, but what I have tended to glean from stories from these situations when it comes to one spouse asking about opening up a relationship or a marriage is that they are either already cheating on you, or they have somebody in mind that they want to cheat on you with. And even if you say no, they're going to go and do what they want to do anyway. This feels to me like your husband wasn't insensitive or tactless. I think he was very intentional in what he did. Because, as I did say earlier, the time for bringing up opening a marriage, ethical monogamy, is not 2 weeks into the marriage. It is before you even say I do. That's the type of thing that you bring up and you come to an understanding on during the dating phase. He knows what he's doing. He's literally just pulled the good old bait and switch on you. He's promised you something, then he's delivering something completely different. And the fact that he's further fueling this by hiding his phone, by being very secretive, by keeping in contact with his old flings, he's cheating on you. And even worse, he's also gone through this whole process of reassuring you and working through your prior trust issues. And he's created a situation where he set himself apart as the type of person that you can trust, the type of person that you can rely on, so that it would further disarm you and cause you to doubt yourself if you ever suspect that he's cheating on you. But he's cheating on you. He is. OP, I'm so sorry to say this, but I honestly do not feel that this marriage can be salvaged, because he doesn't want a marriage. He wants to eat his cake and have it. He wants to have a wife at home while he's out here in the streets swinging his thing like a hula hoop. And that, my dear, is not what you want. And I know that for you, the idea of an annulment or a divorce can feel like a failure. Trust me. Would you prefer to fail now, 2 weeks into the marriage, or 2 years down the line, after he's gaslighted you, after he's chipped away at your confidence, after he's turned you into something that doesn't even resemble what you are?
I made the mistake of asking my wife for an open marriage, and I regret it. I feel like a complete idiot here. My wife and I have been married for 19 years. We have one child. Our daughter moved out this summer after she enlisted in the armed forces. I love my wife, but I felt like the spark was gone from our lives. I don't want to divorce her, so I proposed an open marriage. She was upset initially, but eventually she agreed. Like I said in the title of my post, I made a mistake. I have learned that just because I wasn't as attracted to my wife as I was when we got married, it doesn't mean other men would feel the same. My wife has so many men and dates, she doesn't know what to do with them all. Meanwhile, it's the opposite for me. Not only that, but after my wife agreed to an open marriage, I asked a woman who was a colleague of mine out on a date. I was a manager at my job, but I wasn't her manager. We worked in completely different divisions, and our work had nothing to do with each other's jobs. But even though I wasn't her manager and I'm in an open marriage, she complained to her manager and showed HR my messages. I lost my job. I told my wife I want to close our marriage again because I was an idiot for suggesting it in the first place. She said no, she's happy with how things are. It's killing me when I know she is with other men. My brother called me a moron when I told him and said expecting my wife to look like she did when she got married made me a dunce. Even went so far as to say she takes great care of herself and is in great shape for 44. She just doesn't look 20. He had the nerve to say my wife looks better than me and I could stand to lose some weight. I love my wife and I don't want a divorce. I never wanted a divorce, which is why I proposed this in the first place. But she doesn't want to close the marriage. I'm not worried about money because we both work, but I do not want a divorce. I'm just glad my daughter enlisted in the RCAF and isn't here to see our marriage falling apart.
This is long. Dear Stan and T-Bomb, the statement, "Be careful what you ask for," just hit me in the head. I got married to my wife at 30 years old. We have had our ups and downs, but overall it's been good. 17 years married and 4 kids later, and at almost 50 years old, I started feeling like I needed some sparks. I begged my wife to allow us to explore an open marriage with rules. I felt like I had been with the same woman for 17 years since I was 30 years old, and although I never cheated on her, my mind started wandering. Instead of cheating, I asked her to let's have an open marriage. She fought me on it and then told me to go ahead and fulfill my desires, but to stay wrapped up, oh, that's what that means, stay protected, and to never spend the night out and never embarrass her by letting anyone else know about it. So I did my thing a couple times. She recently told me that she too has done her thing a couple times. But she didn't even warn me about it or anything. Now she is gone more than she's home, but she never spends the night out. She doesn't break the rules that we set in place. She's loving this open marriage thing now, and I hate it. I don't feel the intimacy with my wife anymore because my mind can't get past her sleeping with another man. That's my effing wife. He said the cuss word, but that's my effing wife, man. I really want to punch her in the face, but I can't. I thought I wanted this, but I don't. And my wife said to me, "Be careful what you ask for." She won't even discuss it with me anymore. Whenever I bring it up, all she does is says, "Be careful what you ask for," and she walks away from me. I stopped doing it to her recently, and she does not seem to care. WTF have I done, and how can I get things back to it being just me and her, Stan?
You screwed up, bro. So I'm gonna tell you something. Right now. A lot of people going through a lot of this kind of stuff right now, right? So I'm gonna say this. If you don't know what you're signing up for, you should be real careful how you opening up that Pandora's box, because a lot of things come with it, right? Like this situation right here. Now she done found somebody who's putting down the D, right? And so now she not real concerned about your D, right? And that's only because he done bent that ass up a little different than what you used to do. See, y'all traditional 30 years, that's kind of
17 years.
Well, it's the same thing once you're 17. It's 30, 40, what the hell. Once you pass 10 years, it's all the same. So all I'm saying is this some new D. And she doing some different stuff, and so is he. And it's something that you may not haven't even done before. And it would have never happened if you would have never wanted to decide to share and dip and slide and this and that. So if you ask for it, you got to know how to handle it and what you signing up for. That's what I'm saying. So be careful what you ask for.
That's what his wife said. Be careful what you ask for, sir.
Now she busting all the way down.
And listen.
And I'm saying she is all the way over there.
You don't have to do all of that.
That's where she at, Holmes. And so at this day and time, you ain't going to be able to reel this back in. She like that game now. So all that timeout, she ready to run the play. She calling audibles. She doing and so you
she
kind of
is like, yes, open,
and so
open marriage. What?
Yeah. And so
okay,
she never
I'm about
known.
to open it up.
She would have never known what she was missing until you invited that. So once you invite it, you gotta be a big boy and suck it up.
I pretty much agree with everything that Stan said on this. This is interesting to me because men mostly, I would say, I mean, there are women nowadays that I've heard who are into that, but mostly men in their minds, they be into that, right? They want to be open and all of this and free and loose and stuff, but they not going to be able to handle that.
He should have just asked for a threesome or something. You shouldn't have asked for open marriage. Like, you went a little too damn far. Like, so you could have just said, let's just get a little spice in our relationship and add a little situation here and there, babe, and talk about that. But you said, let's have an open marriage. Open marriage mean we both gonna run around and do some open stuff
with rules.
Each other.
You can't spend the night out, and you have to be protected, and you can't embarrass the person.
It's gonna be some embarrassment. It's gonna not pan out. It's not gonna stay there. It's not gonna stay right there.
Well, like I said, because most times men cannot handle that. They're not able to continue intimacy with their wife, someone that they love like that, once they know that somebody else going up in there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
that's
hard for
true.
a man to take what he gives. It's just too hard. And so you the wife said, be careful what you ask for. You don't ask for that when you're married. Like, I think it's fine. Don't ask for that.
Y'all, we have an open marriage regret post from the perspective of the woman. She posted this in the Am I the A-hole subreddit saying, am I the a-hole for telling husband it was his choice to open our marriage and I'm not closing it? No, you're not the a-hole, but let's read this together. I have not read through this. I love getting the open marriage regret posts, and I bring them to you as I am reading them. Okay, so she's 40, he's 42. She says, I married my husband 18 years back. We have one daughter who's 16 and a 14-year-old son. We met in college and fell in love. My husband lost his parents in an accident, and as a friend, I consoled him, and we became close. We are from the same city, and he lived around 10 kilometers from my house, so we just clicked. Our marriage has had our share of ups and downs, but financially, we're in a good place. I own a house gifted by my parents, and he inherited his parents' house after their passing away. I run my own bridal boutique and make good money. He is an insurance head. We have bought multiple properties and built our future together and for our children. We also have created a mutual will in case one parent has to pass away. His or her share of assets will go to our children only, irrespective of living parent marrying again or not. Last year, my husband started distancing, and I was worried. He started ignoring me, stopped getting physical, etc. In the end, he told me he finds me fat, ugly, and he doesn't get turned on. I was so busy in raising our kids and my business that I stopped caring about it. He said he doesn't want to destroy the family, but he wants to have sex outside of marriage. He said he won't be a hypocrite, and I can do the same. I cried and begged, but he didn't listen. After weeks of crying and self-pity, I accepted this proposal. I also started working out, and guys in the gym started hitting on me. I've had my share of hookups and fun, but finally I'm getting along with a man who is 35. He treats me on dates, and the sex is good. I also changed my dressing from traditional to more Western and sexy, and have lost weight. I have nice curves too. My husband, luckily or sadly, didn't have such luck. He is tall and all, but he overrated his chances. He got hookups here and there, but barely they repeated him. He thought he can woo girls with money, but girls today are independent and can't be wooed with money only. I was going on dates when my kids were at my parents', and he was pissed. He said not to go. I didn't care and went. He is now saying he wants to close this marriage, and I just laugh at him. I told him this is the arrangement. He wanted it, and I'm honoring it. I'm enjoying the attention these hunks give me, and it's not my fault women don't want him. He started calling me names, and I called him a man whore. He is threatening divorce, and I'm fine with it because our laws favor women more. I pointed that to him. He started crying and begging to close the marriage again, but I am refusing. Edit. 35-year-old man is in divorce process, and in our country, it takes years to have a divorce if the wife isn't consenting. We are taking it slow, but he is an amazing man. Am I the a-hole? To that, I say no. Okay, let's continue. Edit. Our children have no idea, and we are involved parents. Stop stressing about them. Also planning to get a divorce when both are in college. So she has already checked out of this marriage anyway. She says, P.S., who think it's fake, you can believe what you want to. I don't have to prove anything here. I'm here for judgment. She says, I am here for judgment. Judge me. Judge me. She says, edit. I had to add people who are blaming me for staying fat, despite both working. My evenings went teaching kids and taking care of the household. He thought it's a woman's job to do so and was only the fun dad. Mornings, I had to prepare breakfast for all. I had household help for cleaning and dishes, but I barely had time to work out. Now I have hired a cook and kids who can take care of themselves. It gives me free time to work on myself. If he wanted a model, he could have reduced his tummy and his daily sports and helped me as well. Thank you. So I don't know where she's from. But clearly she's not from America, and you can tell that in her English. But to this I say, the dust is global. So yeah, ladies, that is what's going on with these marriages. A lot of these men are getting bold to where they are getting tired of you, and they don't want to cheat in secret, so they're wanting to have an open marriage when some of them are already cheating before they ask this. But they want to just do it without being stressed out and not wanting to hide it because they're too dumb to not get caught. And they know they're going to get caught, so they rather just let you know. So this is what women are out here dealing with. Like I said, it's on both sides. Women get tired of being with men. You might love them and you be like, oh, that's my husband. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you get tired of him. And men, when they get tired of you, they just react in a different way. They get tired of you sexually, and when they get tired of you, they do a lot of stuff that's different from what you would do as a woman. For instance, going to cheat a lot. I'm not saying that women don't cheat, but when a man gets tired of you, or it's not just you, it's just he gets tired of sex. Men get tired of the same sex from the same woman. And I'm sure there are women out there that do too, and that's why we have a lot of women that sleep around. But for the most part, y'all, I just don't really recommend marriage right now. Especially, I don't recommend women getting into marriage right now just because it's too many things at stake for women as far as the laws are going with the abortions, with the whole the laws, the familial laws. If y'all haven't looked at those, I did a video on that where they're trying to force women, I'm going to say women, into taking care of their elderly parents financially. They're trying to do that. They're trying to take away women's rights to just get divorced for any reason. They're lowering the age of consent. Incels are on the rise because women are going more 4B and going celibate. So more incels are going to be out there trying to get women by SAing and graping us. So that's why I keep telling y'all to get weapons, get armed, get self-defense, do whatever you can, because you may have to protect yourself one day. And not only yourself, you might have to protect another woman or a girl. If I sound funny, y'all, please forgive me. I got Invisalign, so it's just really weird talking right now. So if I sound funny, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't recommend you opening your marriage as a woman. As a married woman, I don't even recommend marriage, like I said. But go into this relationship thing at your own risk, ladies. Always be alert. Always know that there is a chance that you can get cheated on. I don't care how great you think your husband is. I don't care if he's paying all the bills. I don't care how much you love him. Always know that you should have your own money. You should always be prepared for anything. So if you want to get into a relationship in 2024 and beyond, knowing these things, that is on you. There's too many channels out here warning you and showing you, how men feel, how they think. They're out here lying about their political views and making videos telling other men to lie so they can get liberal women that don't want them, that don't believe in the same things they believe in. They're just doing too much stuff out here for women to keep risking it. So I'm going to ask you all to keep sharing these videos if y'all want to wake up the masses of women. And I thank you, and I will talk to you ladies soon. Bye.